Are we on? Are you sure?
Oh, lie. I've
Here
retweeted
we
it.
go. Here we go. Should be in the pre-show now, right? Everything's
Yes.
going up. I'm showing. All right, I got my stuff set up over here. Got my coffee. Got everything going on.
Texas.
Oh wow, 2 ads before the stream starts. You must
We're
be
making
getting
that big
important.
money now.
You important, man. Ah, crazy. Ah, yes. Check this out. I don't know how well this will work, but you can do the full spectrum.
Ha!
That work on your end?
I
I
did,
can't
yeah.
do your voice. I can't do your voice from here. But
Hey, well,
hey,
whenever you.
well, we're glad y'all are here with us.
I'm testing something new this week. I've already titled the podcast early so that it shows up on Twitch as this particular episode instead of being.
Okay.
We'll
See how
see.
it goes.
Yeah.
All
I'm going to
right.
try and add some tags with what we're going to be talking about as well and see how that works.
All right. Try to get that. Yeah.
Why not, right?
Many tags as possible. You can get it to fit. Throw it on there and see how it happens. All right. Perfect. I have my coffee. You get yours.
Going good enough for everybody?
Oh,
Ha ha.
oh man.
You ever think that your green screen's clean and then you look on your stream and go, oh no, it's definitely not?
Not my green screen. No, I don't have one, but I did on the shirt that I was wearing before I put this one on.
Right.
Looked down. I was like, oh, yeah, I have a child, and there's slobber all over my shoulder.
This is all Zeke hair.
So
And what's weird is
there you
like the
have.
green screen's not even near where he can get to it, right? It just
Yeah,
somehow still gravitates there anyway. Uh,
it floats through the air.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I do have a question. What are your thoughts on since we're talking about kids and pets, what are your thoughts on when people call themselves pet parents? Because they don't have kids, but they act like they do?
Well, okay. Um, I think that's fine. For people that are taking the responsibility for their pets and
Right.
everything. That's a good way of looking at it. My personal opinion, I know it's going to get some hate. It's completely different.
Yeah, it is. It's
It's
absolutely
completely
different.
different. It's I see that, and let me go on this for just a second, and you
Please
stop
do.
me if I go too far. The problem with the English language in Greek, you have 4 different words for the word love. You only
Yes.
have one in English language. It
Yep.
doesn't work. The love for your pet is a very special kind of love. It
Hmm.
is different than the love for your child. I
That's
don't have
right.
a problem with pet parents. It's not the same.
It's
I will
not.
say that.
You're
But
no baby is ever going to just sit on top of a couch for 4 to 6 hours at a time and do nothing.
not until they're teenagers.
Right. And then they have a phone.
All right. Mm.
I was thinking about that the other day because, like, the joke was made. You know, you put your significant other and your dog in the trunk of the car for 4 hours, and you come back and open it. Which one's going to be happy to see you?
Right.
Well, the
Right.
dog. Can't wait to
Yeah.
build your first gunpla. Nice. Excited for you, man. They're a ton of fun to put together. Or a game system. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah. Because I guess technically I'm both
Yeah.
in ways, a pet parent or parent parent.
So, if you had, without getting into numbers, both of us are connected to large households, children, right?
Yeah.
If you put 4 children, let's go 3 children. Let's go. We put 3 children in the trunk of a car. How
Okay.
many kids get out of that trunk alive? I
Uh,
realize now this is a very morbid question. I
wait.
didn't mean for it to be.
um, I, I'm this kind of situational and look. I love say when I was a kid, kids and pets both got thrown in the back of the trunk and drove
Yeah.
around. Back the back of the truck
Yeah.
and drove around. So usually not down the highway though.
I found this. This might also be a story that I shouldn't tell in the podcast, but I
Yeah.
just told a very morbid joke, so why not? I found a dog once on my way to work. I was working at a grocery store. I found a dog on the side of the road that was very clearly like had been lost for a while,
Yeah.
starved, mangy. I was like, well, I'm going to take this dog home. I'm in my truck. I don't want this dog to ruin my upholstery, and I've got to work a full shift. I'll put it in the back of the truck. I put the dog in the back of the truck, and it started trying to jump out while I was driving down the road. And I was like, okay,
Yeah.
this dog's going to get itself killed. It didn't have a collar, but I had some rope back there. I was like, I'm going to make a rope collar. I'm going to tie it to the back of the truck.
Yeah.
So then I go into work, and I'm working, doing my job, stocking the shelves, and all of a sudden, one of the other guys goes, hey, Trey, that dog in the back of your truck's trying to kill itself. And I go out there, and the dog is like jumped off the side while still tied. I was like, all right, look, I got to let this dog go. This dog is going to die if I try to save it. I have to let it go.
Ugh. It's rough.
Self-exposing. Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Ugh.
But I wanted to help that dog. And then that dog was like, no, I don't want your help. Leave me alone. It felt really bad too, because I was like, man, this dog clearly like needs help, but
Yeah. You couldn't do it from there.
yeah. I guess I could have taken the day off work in hindsight, but if anybody knows me, they know how hard it is to convince me to take time off work.
Apparently, even to save a life.
I had like, do you remember the bad toothache that I had where the tooth had rotted on the inside?
Mm.
I had that bad toothache and did not go get it taken care of because both my jobs needed me to be able to speak. For 2.5 months, I dealt with that tooth pain.
I always dealt with tooth pain because I couldn't afford to go get
That's fair.
taken care of. So
That's fair. That's another good reason.
yeah.
Yeah, I could have got it a
I mean,
little bit later.
I went to work with it, but that's because dentists are expensive.
You got to work. You don't have a choice.
Yeah.
You got to get your job done. But yeah. Man, why is? Oh, I was about to start us on a very different conversation. I was gonna be like, why is dentistry so expensive?
Yeah.
But, that goes into a very.
I don't think
deep.
this is the podcast.
No.
You may want to start that on. We may start a different channel for discussions like that. I think
Let's talk about the
that would probably
systemic
be the
issues
safest.
with
No.
society.
Right? Yeah. That's. I'll have to. Sure, we won't step in anything there.
Let's talk about how high school does not prepare teenagers for the real world and only makes them repeat the mistakes that they're shown in high school.
Right. Yeah.
I can't believe school doesn't teach you how to do your taxes. I cannot believe it.
Well, it should be part of civics. They don't want to teach civics either.
That's true.
Civics is not a class anymore, really.
Yeah.
That's why that should be covered.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Most people get enabled with 3 branches of the government. So let's just move on.
True. That's
And
That's true. So normally we'd go like another minute or so on the pre-show, but I think we could probably go ahead and start because I have a lot to say about Endwalker.
Yeah.
I recorded a special video just for like the concise version. And then I might even cut out this from the podcast to upload as another video for the long version.
Yeah.
Because that first one was more an attempt to start a conversation about like, hey, what do you feel? This one is more, hey, there's some stuff.
Yeah.
But before we get started with mine.
Yes.
My every job's like being in high school. It's full spectrum, that's true.
It is. Yes, it is.
Before we get into that, let's do the intro, as usual. Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of the Full Spectrum Podcast. My name is Trey.
I am Rungren.
Just the cheers, the gladiator. And how's your week been, sir?
It's been all right. It's been a little crazy. We had a good game Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't had much time to play anything, man.
Yeah.
I've been doing some straightening up and cleaning, and taking care of kittens because they're everywhere.
Like the pet dad you are.
Yeah. I think I got a number earlier, 8. There's 8 cats around here right now.
That's a lot.
That is a lot. Look at that. Couple of well, some of the outside cats, like the males,
Hmm.
they will eventually. Once they get big enough, they're
Mm-hmm.
gonna they'll come by, but they're gonna be stalking and have their own territory, just like
Yeah.
like a big cat would. So not really a whole lot going on. I did manage to record a song. I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how many different punk bands I ripped off, but I know I can name a few of them that were really good. I really like.
Yeah.
It's like, well, look, there's part of the song that reminds me of a punk band called Dead Kennedys.
Right.
Dead Kennedys, give me convenience or give me death. It's an amazing punk album. You should go back and listen to that. Actually, probably anybody that hears this probably wouldn't go back and listen to it. They would probably go try to find it for the first time. Now that I really think that through.
Right.
But it's a great punk album. So I did get a song recorded, uh, which kind of fun, a little bit different
Yeah.
sound for me, but really not a lot going on. Still cleaning up, still trying to figure out, uh, getting ready for Christmas and the New Year and everything like
Yeah.
that. Just kind of a busy and same time stale part of the year. I don't know
Yeah.
how that works out, but that's been about you know everything that's happened over the week is just kind of all this little stuff, nothing major,
I understand.
and nothing else to get to really going on. But how was your week, sir?
It was sort of boring. Uh, I also only really did one thing this week, which was try to play FF14 Endwalker.
Yeah,
So for anybody who doesn't know, Endwalker uses a queue system where when you go to log in, only 17,000 people can be logged in on any individual world at a time, which is not a lot when you have. What's the current number? Hold on, let me pull it back up again because it hit all time record highs on Steam.
yeah,
It is, uh, I'll put it this way: in June of 2019, it was 47,000 players, and that number has more than tripled.
yeah,
Uh, Currently, just on Steam alone, there's two different ways to play the game. Well, actually, there's five different ways to play the game now. Because PS3, PS4, PS5, PC, and Xbox.
yeah.
So right now it's at 95,102 on Steam, and there's 17,000
Still a
per
lot.
world.
Yeah,
So
and that's I do believe that's for that Steam, the North American Steam server. Yeah,
right, that's just North America Steam.
yeah. Okay, that's what I was
So
thinking.
yeah, it's been trouble getting in. Not a lot of servers, and we talked about this before about how there was going to be congestion. They knew there would be. That they
Yeah,
couldn't get the new servers in time. However, that's not really the issue. I don't mind a queue. You know, I can set up a queue and I can go and take care of other stuff. I can go and take the kids to school and whatever. You know, it's fine.
yeah,
The problem is if at any point the server thinks that you are not having a direct connection with it, something else starts to download. You open up another window. Uh, you're on Wi-Fi and it pings for a second. If at any point it can give you a 2002 error, which kicks you out of the queue and closes the game. So you have
yeah,
to reboot the game, re-log in, reselect your character, and if you do it fast enough, you get back in the queue where you were. If you don't, you get kicked back to the back of the queue, which is already annoying enough because you never know when it's going to do it. But there's also a lobby service error that's with the login. So when you go to try and log in, sometimes you get hit with a 3001 lobby server error, and then you can't log in because you have to reboot the game again, which means you don't get in that window and you get kicked to the back of the queue. Which means that there was a day, which was Saturday, where I spent 7 hours trying to log in, I think.
it's crazy. Absolutely
Uh,
crazy.
it's not
I have
good.
the last time I can remember seeing something quite like this. It was like in the days of EverQuest,
Yeah.
and that was Kunark, Kunark
Mm-hmm.
expansion, and and that was just you'd have sometimes you'd be an hour or two waiting
Right.
to get in, but still, man, that's crazy.
They have done it.
And unfortunate, very unfortunate.
Oh yeah, because there will
for
absolutely be people that won't come back now.
Yeah.
Get fed up and leave.
Well,
Because you got to baby that kid.
Craig, I honestly I believe I realize you're a little bit biased. 7 days free is nothing.
No, I agree 100%. And that's what I was gonna say. I think the given the 7 days for free, that's not enough. They did one fix today that they implemented, which I think is okay. I don't think it's great, but it is a start, right? Because they can't get those servers. We talked about that last week. They cannot get those servers. So they took some of the dev servers and converted them into servers. So now 21,000 people can log in on each world per day. But it's still not enough. I logged in 2 hours today.
Yeah,
but I also started logging in very early in the morning.
I said 2 hours. That's a wait I've done.
Right.
You know, but for and it's not like some other games. Of course, it really doesn't. Like some other games, like you have free and subscribe players, right?
Right. Absolutely. And this is all subscription for the most part.
Right. And so on those games, usually subs get first. And usually those games are upfront about it. It's like, hey, if you're paying monthly for this, you are first in queue.
And that does exist here with the free trial.
Yeah.
And some players get to go before free trial members, but the vast majority of people playing are not playing the free trial because they started playing the free trial when all the hype came out.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
this has gone from a good problem to have to really hurting. I still think if they move quickly enough, I think they'll lose some. They're going to lose some people, but I still think they'll come up higher overall on average. I still think they'll have more on average.
They're also attempting to fix the 2002 error, which again, I think if not for that, I wouldn't be as annoyed as I am.
Yeah.
Because having to log in again every time and hope that I did it fast enough.
Right, to get your spot back.
I still got a life, I got to go take the dog out. I got to go empty out the cat box, I got to do all that stuff. And so then when I come back and realize, it's 2002 and I don't know when it did it. It's really annoying,
Yeah.
Weapon skin thoughts? I don't think 14 has weapons. I mean, you have glamours. If they gave me some glamours, I still don't think it'd be enough, but I don't know at this point what they could do that would ease my frustration. I'm obviously still going to play the game because, as we said, I'm very biased. This is not enough to stop me.
Right.
But there's nothing really they could do to make it better for me either.
I think at this point, especially if it continues on for another couple of days, anybody with a current subscription should get a free month at least.
I agree. And they did say they're going to consider more game time, but I don't think it should be in consideration at this point. I think it should be just, hey. Because the game came out today. That was early access before. The game came out today, which means there's even more people trying to get in now.
Yeah.
And it's a problem. But once I got in, I was having a blast. And that's why if it looks like I'm a little nuts and a little zany, I barely slept. Because once I got in, I did not leave. I leveled the 10 levels for Sage from 70 to 80 so I could start on the story. And I was able to get in for a brief period of time before the podcast. That's why the green screen's still up. To record some more stuff. Because I want to get these videos out on these classes. I really like them. Yeah. But I need to be able to play.
The game's not running. Yeah.
Right.
You can't play the game.
And I think what really fires me up about it, what really grinds my gears, is that all that time I spent in the queue trying to get in, that I had to baby it because the 2002 error. At one point, I had 2002 errors happening every 15 minutes. All that time could have been spent on goatees.
Well, I mean, you're having to rely on your internet connection at that point, to stay steady.
Yeah.
Not dip too much.
Sometimes it was great and sometimes it wasn't. But again, actually playing Endwalker, it's really good. The new classes feel really, really solid. Sage is now my favorite class in the game. And it's brand new. Reaper feels really good. They both have, and I've made videos on both of them already, they both have tutorial quests at level 70 that teach you how to play that class, which feels really good. And I
That's
think
nice.
every class should have at some point, because the rest don't.
Yeah. Yeah.
But no, it's even to the point of like this is strictly a tutorial. Do this thing, or the NPC won't walk through to the next room. When you do the thing, green check mark shows up, showing you did a good job. Like it is explicitly a tutorial.
I have done it.
Yeah. The music so far in the new area that I've only been to one of the new areas because I barely touched the story. It's really good, and they introduced
Yeah.
a new like follow system for the NPCs, where you can have the main story, like your group in the main story of NPCs can follow you, and as you go around the hub area, you can find these spots on the ground where if you walk to that spot, you can talk to them and get fresh dialogue about whatever's around there, which is
Oh, that's
really
cool.
cool.
That's nice.
They've put
That's
a
nice.
lot of thought into it. It's just unfortunate that most people can't play it.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I said, I realize there's semiconductor shortage.
Mm-hmm.
It seems should be another way around this. I don't know.
Should. I'm
You know,
so
like,
torn
yeah,
because I get it, but at the same time, I also understand why the semiconductors are going to the hospitals before they're going to the video game company.
yeah. Oh, but see, it's not only that. It's like, how old is this game? How long has this game been out?
12 years, I think. No, let me double check.
Yeah. So unless they done a hardware update last year or this year, they're not running the game on
Right.
new
Yeah.
semiconductors.
They can't just get online servers either because it runs
Yeah.
on a system that can't access that because it didn't
Yeah.
exist when it was made.
Yeah.
Here, the initial release date was 2013. So yeah, almost 10 years.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I'm sure they've done. I don't know, man. They may not have done a hardware update on the back end in
I
all
don't think
this
they
time.
have.
And so that's like you could use, if you use a server that's 5 years old instead of 8, but I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I don't have the
Yeah.
answers. I just it's and I don't play the game. I just
Yeah.
want it to do well. I think I do like Final Fantasy. I like the everything I ever played through it.
Right.
Yeah, it's just really disappointing.
Yeah.
Something that much swing, that much name recognition, just
Well, and
hitting a
after all
wall.
the hype too.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
it's unfortunate. I hate to say it this way, but I'll have more to say about it next week on the podcast because I work from home. Thursday, Friday will be busy days that everybody is at work. I'll be able to get in and play, and it sucks because those people are going to come home from work and want to play and aren't going to be able to.
right. I don't know, man. It's a mess. I hope they get on it. I hope they can get something fixed soon.
Yeah.
Um, like I said, it seems. I maybe there's not enough information about it. It's just throwing up the hands that we don't have the semiconductors.
Yeah.
Is a little bit. I don't know. I think
That's why the turning the dev servers into player servers is the only thing so far that has made me go, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
That was a good call.
Yeah. And it seems
And
like that
helped.
yeah. I seem like there should be more options down the avenue, which I realize that, sometimes something can't was just saying Rome wasn't built in a day.
For
I
sure.
realize they probably need some time to get some stuff still.
But also, Square Enix has the money.
Yeah. Like I said,
7 hours of those. I didn't stream any of that stuff. And I felt like sitting in the queue was not the time to stream. Like, well, we got another 2002 era, boys. Let's reload.
Yeah.
Oh, that would have been incredibly boring for everyone. No, I 100%. I put on YouTube, and I did this for 7 hours. One eye on this monitor for YouTube, one eye on the queue. But I got Sage to 80. Do you know how I got Sage to 80 in 2 days? There's a zone in FF14 called Bozja, which gives pretty decent XP. You basically just grind out these random spawning events.
Yeah.
And I did that all day long.
That'll do it.
Because I knew if I was in there, I wouldn't get kicked.
Well, right. I mean, that's what once you get on. I mean, that's Got to set a timer for AFK. Make sure you get your lunch quick.
Yep.
And get back if you're gonna play.
Well, and it's also really unfortunate they didn't account for cutscenes for the AFK timer. There's not a
Yeah,
flag in the game that lets the AFK timer know that the player's in a cutscene. And so,
yeah.
because obviously people could just cheese that, right? Get in a cutscene and then not advance the cutscene.
Huh?
But people that beat Endwalker got kicked because the credits were more than 30 minutes long.
Yeah. That's just, and that's something that's like, come on,
Yeah.
should have that together.
At least let them know, you know. Oh, what's on stream right now? No, that's not actually a video there. That's just an image, a screenshot. A screenshot that was taken. But yeah, it's that was the proof. I wanted to make sure there was some proof so people could see my pain. No, I knew better to try and record that. If I had to look at that footage, I might have lost it.
Gonna like it.
But yeah, I think that the classes all feel really good. If you were some of the people that haven't got to play yet because you waited to get the full version of the game and you're hoping to get to play and you're curious about stuff like Sage, go check out that Sage video because I think Sage is really fun. Reaper, go check out that Reaper video because I think Reaper's really good too. And then if I can get in tonight/tomorrow at a reasonable time, I'm going to do some stuff on Summoner because new Summoner is really, really fun. I like it a lot. And the only other class that like changed drastically is Monk. And I haven't got enough time really to play around with that yet, but I'm going to. And I'll make a video on that as well. And then, of course, once I have them all at 90, I'll make videos on each of them as I have before with the job breakdowns. You know. And then at some point, we got to make a video on starfishing.
Yeah.
So, there's a lot of what I'm saying is if you don't like FF14, I'm sorry. Because there's going to be a lot of FF14 videos coming out if I can get in the game.
Yeah, that will be kind of important.
Yeah.
Actually, be able to get on and get in and do stuff.
Otherwise, I might just play Lord of the Rings online because I can log into that.
Yeah. I'll do that. They've got they had a few issues with the launch of Gundabad.
Yeah.
They release patches on a few different things, usually every Wednesday, and it's running really smooth now. I haven't had any stutter on it. I'll have to get back on it. I haven't finished out the story yet. I don't know. I like getting on there just exploring and going to different places. But there was some choppiness to it, but it wasn't anything horrible. It's smoothed out now, so
yeah.
We'll
Good to hear.
So you should play that.
Yeah, you got time right now, so
yeah, right.
You can't get into 14.
While you're waiting on 14, jump on. Let me know.
The last big thing they recommended was if you want to play 14, and you have the option to not play during peak hours, go on the Lodestone and look up peak hours because it honestly is much easier to log in if you're trying to log in well before those peak hours when there's a lot less people. Yeah. Keep that in mind. It's not a good solution, but it's a temporary solution.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we'll move on to the rest of the podcast here. We could talk Endwalker all night. We have a single game for review tonight that is probably the biggest game for review we're going to review for the rest of the year, which is that it's Halo time. You after 1 a.m. isn't that bad? Yeah, that's when I was able to get in and played for a while. Was like super early in the morning. So Halo Infinite is a little popular. We got some more stuff we're going to talk about it in a little bit because it does have some issues. Yes. But people could play the multiplayer early. They've been able to play a little bit of the campaign now, and people seem to think it is a Halo game. I'm trying not to spoil anything to give anything away here.
Yes.
So, knowing that, what would you say you think the critic average score for Halo Infinite?
I'm going to go with an 87 right now.
Okay.
On that, see how that works out.
Chat, your chance. You could wind up on the Ice Cream Wall of Fame.
You got 85, 78, 79.
The answer is 86.
Okay.
So everybody's
Okay.
about in the right. It'll come up if somebody gets it. We could turn it back on right now, though. Honestly, it wouldn't hurt anything. Where did I put the ice cream wall of shame?
I
Or wall
have
of
no
fame?
idea.
Not shame. It's fame.
Yeah.
There it is. I need to clean this thing up. So right off the bat, ACG says bye.
Yeah.
Keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Which one of these? Let's go with GamesBeat. GamesBeat says, consider me a Halo fan now. I never really looked forward to Infinite, but now that it's here, it's so much more than what I was expecting. And I think that whatever 343 does next will be even better, and I'll be eagerly awaiting it. That is where Balance sits, on the wall of shame. Man, it's going to be such a surprise when Balin wins Game of the Year. I mean, what?
Talk about an underdog.
We have GameSpot, who says Halo Infinite transforms the series' 2-decade-old formula for the better, giving protagonist Master Chief more characterization and implementing an open world.
Okay.
Then we have, let's go with Worth Playing, who says no matter what your focus is, Halo Infinite is a blast. For multiplayer fans, the gameplay is rock solid. The back-to-basics approach works well to keep longtime fans engaged, and the game is easy to pick up and play to hook newer fans. Campaign fans will enjoy that mode despite a few issues, since the open world setting allows for some breadth and approach while retaining the familiar mission structure and flow. Infinite should be on your Christmas list, despite the lack of other big features at launch like co-op, forge, and local play. Yeah, GTA also should be on the wall of shame after the patch last
man.
week.
Ugh.
IGN Italy says Halo Infinite as a game is a solid and fun job. As a chapter in a series that has always been characterized by strong epic traits, it's little more than a simple prologue. To think on there.
Well, yeah.
PC Gamer. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Well, I mean, it's not the full game.
Right.
So
PC Gamer says Halo Infinite can't quite deliver on being an open world throwback, but it's the best shooting the series has seen to date. And let's round it out here with Attack of the Fanboy, who says Halo Infinite might be kind of underwhelming on the single-player side, but multiplayer has tons of promise if 343 can tackle launch issues swiftly. So based on those, what do you think the critic recommended score is, Rundgren?
I'm going to go a little bit lower to 82, I think. 82.
Okay. Yeah, this is your chance. Ice Cream Wall of Fame is right there. Not the Balin Wall of Shame.
Oh, no.
Like I said we could go. We got a 79
from
79?
Faith. Yeah. I think Waverly stepped away.
Mm-hmm. The final answer is, there's Will's 80, 95%.
Really?
Which is much higher than I expected.
That is much higher than I expected. I wouldn't expect that from the introduction to the game, right?
Right.
The prologue, so to speak.
Yes.
You know, you don't get the full game yet.
Well, the full campaign is now available, but this is just the start of the rest. You know, this Halo Infinite is the start of a series of updates that will come to it.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You don't have. I'm saying it's still not complete.
Right.
It's
not. It's kind of like Final Fantasy VII Remake. It's good on its own, but it's not the whole story.
Yeah, you've still got a ways to go.
Mm-hmm. So GamesBeat gave it a 5 out of 5. GameSpot gave it a 9 out of 10. Worth Playing gave it a 9 out of 10. IGN Italy gave it an 8 out of 10. PC Gamer gave it a 78 out of 100 because they had to be special. And Attack the Fanboy gave it a 3.5 out of 5.
Okay.
So it's doing pretty well. People really seem to like it. It does have its issues we're going to talk about in a little bit.
Right.
That I think people definitely need to be aware of before they purchase it. So if you're hearing this now and you're going, man, I need to pick this up, hold off for a second. First off, we're not sponsored by Game Pass, but if you have Game Pass, you can play it for free. Keep that in mind.
Yeah.
But secondly, maybe we should just go ahead and do that news topic now, honestly.
Okay.
Let me move it up the list. Because if you're thinking about picking up Halo Infinite, there's some things you should know about the campaign.
Yeah. Which there was a comment you made when you were reading the blurbs, you know, about, I think it was maybe the first or second one, talking about how this feels like a Halo game. And I'm like, yes. But there's one thing that's not. And that's what this is dealing with.
Yes. So one of the biggest complaints that people have had about the campaign for Halo Infinite is that you can't replay levels right now.
Right.
So if you
That
missed
doesn't make any
something,
sense.
you can't go get it again. And because it's
Yeah,
open world, you can miss things very easily.
very easily.
And so, like, it doesn't have co-op play, it doesn't have local play, and
Yet.
it doesn't have replayable levels. It's almost like the campaign is like, here, you can have this. Here's the story. Go play around that sandbox, but don't worry about progression.
Well, I mean, that's and some of the complaints I read about this, it all kind of falls down to like one thing. That is one of the things that people always loved about Halo was being able to go back and do their favorite levels.
Absolutely.
Because not every level is perfect on any Halo game.
Right.
Every Halo game's got a level that's like, oh,
That's
I don't
right.
want to do this one now.
That's right.
But they always have they have a great one too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but
Yeah,
it's
for every the
I think it's
library, there's the
oversight.
flood.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. And I think it's just an oversight. I
Yeah,
think it's just
it is.
at the end of the day, and an easy fix.
Yeah.
I bet it'll be fixed soon.
Yeah,
I
they've
really do.
already said they're going to add them in,
Yeah,
and that hopefully the patch will be up before next week is done. We'll see, but obviously, yeah, this needs to be in there. And then, of course, local play co-op will be coming soon.
yeah.
But it's one of those things of like, hey, if you've got a lot of other things to play right now and you don't super need to play the campaign, I'd honestly probably
I'd
wait
wait. I'd
because
wait.
it's
Yeah,
kind of buggy still right now too.
yeah.
There's been a couple times where people have used the grappling hook and it just flings them up into the sky, which is hilarious, but also
It'd be aggravating. But it's hilarious as long as you're not playing.
right. And since you can't redo
So,
levels, if you launch past a
uh,
checkpoint, guess what?
yeah. Good for
So
you.
welcome back.
Yeah.
Yeah, just maybe hold off for a little bit. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I think so.
Go play the multiplayer and never get enough XP to level. Uh, I'm in
Yeah.
a weird mood today. This
Uh,
is. I don't know how to start this story. I honestly don't. I don't know which side you believe here. I don't know what to believe here. But
okay.
let's talk about
Y-
this.
Okay. The dev team
Yes.
claiming that a gun manufacturer stole their gun or stole their design, right?
Yes.
Stole their design, made the weapon,
Yes.
made the shotgun. It's $1,700 US dollars, but
Yeah.
it's a Russian company.
That
Um,
Kalashnikov?
yeah, it's
Yeah.
the yeah, yeah, they sold the design. They did. Here's the thing in this story I thought got overlooked really quick,
Right.
right? The design was done by an independent
Artist.
artist,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Ward B bought that design.
Right.
The Russian company went to Ward B, then never got in touch with them again
Right.
after initially in touch with them, but got in touch with the graphic designer and said, "Hey, just take their name off of it, put our name on it to show the prototypes."
Right.
I have no doubt that the Russian company, which is a big company,
Right.
let's go and is in Russia, stole this design, and they knew that they could get away with it.
Yeah.
And they can because Ward B does not have the money to have a case in Russia to bring
Right.
it up, which will require them to stay in Russia for the entirety of the court case
Right.
in order for them to be able to file and legally do it there in Russia. They just don't have
Yes.
much. So I think they have to back off a little bit. The I'm not sure how I feel about the middleman here, the graphic designer,
Yes.
because the pictures I saw of the shotgun are very similar between the shotgun and the model that's going to go in the game,
Yes.
right? Very similar, but not exact,
Yeah, they're not the same.
right? The stock looks a lot the same. There's a lot of little things that look the same,
Mm-hmm.
but overall, it's been changed.
Yes, it has been adjusted for sure. Trying to
So
line it up well on screen where people can see it.
okay, I don't think. Yeah, I think the Russian company pretty much stole and
Mm-hmm.
went and made the design. I just don't think there's anything that the Ward B can do about it.
For sure. Where it
Unfortunately,
gets weird for me is the stuff with Tarkov.
yeah,
So the Escape from Tarkov devs who know nothing about all this going on see this gun and go, "Hey, we should
Yeah.
add it into our game."
Yeah.
And then Ward B is like, "Hey, you can't do that." And Escape from Tarkov is like, "We don't even know who you are."
Yes.
Because the unfortunate part of all this is Ward B's. It seems like their biggest complaint is that their gun they made is now. Well, let me clarify. Their gun they paid an artist to make
Yes.
is now in a different game before it's in their game because their game is not finished yet.
Yes.
And so they're going after Tarkov, trying to get it taken out of Tarkov when they legally have no grounds. And then
Yeah. But
secondarily,
yeah.
why would Tarkov listen when your game's not done? You know what I mean? It's a bad
Well,
situation all around.
it is. But as far as Tarkov goes, they are using the model of an act. This is an actual shotgun you can
Right.
buy. The graphic design, even though they wanted it as realistic as possible for their
Right.
futuristic setting,
It still's
is
changed.
still yeah, it's still changed, and
Yeah.
that is still not a functioning shotgun. That is an
Right.
in-game shotgun. What we have out here now is a functioning
Right. And the
shot.
Tarkov
Shot.
model, like you said, is based on the Ultima, not the Mastodon.
Yes,
And
yeah.
so honestly, like I may sound
It's a
like a jerk
tough.
here for saying it. I don't think Ward B has any grounds. I'm not
Nope,
talking about legally. I'm talking about like from an objective standpoint. I don't think it's right for them to then go, "Hey, you can't use that gun
in the
because
game.
the
Yeah,
design was stolen from us." When it's like, but it's a real gun. They're just doing what they've always done.
right. It's a real gun that they
Mm-hmm.
and they want realism in that game.
Yeah.
It's
So
like I said, it's very unfortunate. I think, like I said, the story I read on it, the person who did it,
mm,
they did, I was trying. They did have the facts in there, but they were also very much on Ward B's side.
yes, I agree.
Uh, for that. Like I said, and I think that's why the graphic designer bit there in the middle
Mm-hmm.
got skipped over in that whole
Yes.
article because he changed it.
Yes, absolutely. It is a
That graphic,
different gun. No matter how similar it is a
yeah,
different gun.
and stock looks similar.
Mm-hmm.
Up around the trigger seemed a little bit similar, but yeah, it's at the end of the day. I don't think we're gonna have anything, and like I said, it's unfortunate, but I don't think, yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, you go back, you look at the stock. There's some similarity there, but then again, a shotgun's a shotgun.
That's right. There's
A
a
ch-
lot of
is a
shotguns that have
shotgun.
stuff like that.
You know that will have the rail for accessories and stuff. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I don't.
And like, don't
Yeah,
get me wrong,
it's a
I'm
little.
not trying to say that Ward B doesn't have a right to be upset because obviously they do.
Well, it's like the thing. It's not legal. It just may be like
Right.
uncouth,
Yes.
right? It's not illegal. They
Mm-hmm.
didn't do anything like that, but and then again, I don't have the backside of it apparently because apparently the Russian company contacted them
Yeah. To
and
make the deal originally.
yeah, and it kind of seems like they blew it off
Right.
without putting it on them because
And then had a middleman go back to the company later.
yeah,
And then
yeah. So
when they didn't hear back from the middleman, they just assumed the deal was no good. They didn't recontact the middleman.
yeah, I know. It's kind of like I said. When you look at it, when initially you're like, "Oh man, this,"
Yeah.
but there's some stuff in there that just doesn't. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
No,
I
I
understand
agree.
your feelings are hurt, but at the
And
end of the day,
I'm not trying to say they should crunch more or anything like that. Don't misunderstand me. But they don't have any legal right because their game's not done. They haven't finished it yet. And
mm-mm.
I've been trying to pull up when they started making this game.
Oh no, it's well behind.
But yeah,
They're still making promises
yeah.
that this game will be good.
It could be part of the reason why is because all of this, you know? But
Well, see, here's another thing on it. They said they went private with their development pictures and stuff like that because of this.
right,
But this was never mentioned when they went private with their pictures and stuff
right.
originally. So this hasn't come out till now.
Yeah, I don't know. It all feels a little I don't know.
Yeah, it's an intellectual property on a global scale type thing, and I
Yeah,
don't think that it's unless it looks exactly the same. I don't think they're going to get any backing out of that, or
right.
unless they named unless the Glishnikov named the shotgun the Mastodon.
Right.
You know,
The other thing that's really weird to me is that no matter how much I try to pull up for this, the only thing that I can pull up is the video they put out talking about the Mastodon and why everybody's stealing it, which really just makes it feel like. And again, not trying to say anything bad here, but it really makes it feel like it's look at this great design we made.
Yeah.
Everybody wants our great design.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I would love if we could get one of the people from Ward B on here to talk. I would love that. They see this, and because I know a lot of the big YouTubers aren't really talking about it.
Yeah.
But if you see this and you say, well, hey, let me come defend myself. Come on.
Yeah.
Reach out to me.
I know there's stuff that in the article that is not the whole story, and I
Right.
doubt it's the whole story from either side. So I don't know. I don't think it's close. Like I said, the stock. If they'd have said they ripped off the stock from us, I think I'd have been like, yeah,
absolutely.
they did.
Absolutely.
But not
But the rest of the gun's very different.
Yeah.
Because the whole thing was like, also, hey, Dark. The whole thing was like, hey, Kalishnikov wanted to make a futuristic looking weapon. Well, then why did they ditch the futuristic look?
Yeah.
It's because that just looks like a shotgun to me.
Yeah.
Doing good. A little low on sleep because of Endwalker, but yeah. So from there, we get into some kind of disappointing news for a lot of people. AK-47 thing, yeah. Legacy of the Sith has been delayed out to February 15th, 2022. This is the Old Republic expansion.
Yeah.
I think this is a smart delay anyway because it gets it further away from Endwalker.
Well, I think this is a smart delay for a couple of reasons. One, that obviously it's not ready. Two, that it's still going, except for your storyline quest. It is still going live on the test server.
Right.
Which if you play that game, you believe you can make a choice. You can make a character on the test server.
Right, on the PTR.
Check it out. So they're having it's a weird thing, I guess, put it this way, but it's almost like it's like, hey, put it on the test server, you beta test it
right
to the 15th, because they're asking for feedback.
Yeah.
And it's not, hey, we're not putting anything out until the 15th. Everything's been shut down. We're not getting anything. It's going live. They're putting out what they've done. I mean, it's only on the test server.
Yeah, for sure.
But I think that's if you're light, that's the way you do it. Give some people time to mess with the world and the new stuff you put in there.
Yeah, I agree.
Feedback.
I agree. I think that test servers might have been a nice thing for a couple of modes lately.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, a new Force Unleashed game would be incredible. I love Force Unleashed. Fallen Order was really good too. I liked it, but it's weird because I'm a huge Metroidvania guy, right? I love Metroidvanias, and Fallen Order is way more Metroidvania than Force Unleashed. But there's just something about the zaniness of Force Unleashed where it's like, yeah, no, we kind of don't care about the canon or anything like that.
Right.
Use the Force to rip a Star Destroyer out of the sky. Okay.
Yeah.
Why not?
That was a lot of button mashing.
It sure was, but it wasn't worth it.
Yeah. It was. I enjoy both those games.
I do too. And also, yes.
Yeah.
So our last big news story is another kind of big one that I think it's going to take a little bit to cover. And it's kind of going to take some backtracking to get to it, and it unfortunately is more Activision Blizzard stuff. Let's talk about Warzone devs walking. Something not human, a single player game. Oh, that's a good idea, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. The
Blizzard just can't get out of trouble, can they?
No, and man, okay. They've lost 60 people over laying off 20 so far.
Yeah.
They want to lay off 20, and of course, here's what cracks me up. All right, the devs that they want to get rid of, the quality assurance devs.
Yep, QA.
You know, the ones, your last line, that if the quality assurance devs are doing their job, your product before it goes out to customer is damn near perfect, right?
That's right.
This is a group of individuals that were asking, and look, this is not them just saying, hey,
yeah,
we need a raise. This is them saying, hey, look, we were promised a raise in May.
Mm-hmm.
It was pissed off. We were told good things were coming. You passed the deadline on December 7th or 17th, no, December 7th
Yep.
for our raise. And now you've laid off people in good standing. And here's the thing, man. People standing up for their fellow employees. I like this
That's right.
because these are veteran people that they were laying off.
Yep.
They were laying off people that knew what they were doing. And from
Good
the
QA.
Ravens, yes, people been there, good standing with the company. They've got set. This is nothing. Actually, I know what this has to do with. This
Yeah.
has to do with there's a promise to stockholders. They
Yes.
have a bigger legal right to stockholders than they do to their customers or employees.
Yes. And
And
I think it's further insulting because it comes off the back of them announcing that this was their highest grossing year for Call of Duty in like many years. And so they announce 1 second, hey, we've made more money on Call of Duty than we have ever because of Warzone.
yeah,
And then they go, also, we're laying you off that work at Raven. Sorry.
yeah. Ugh,
What?
absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And this is like I said, if this was I would probably take a little more neutral stance if this
Yeah.
was a group of people that were like, we're walking out because we think we deserve a pay raise.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know enough about that position or what you do really,
Yeah.
or what you're getting paid to tell you if you to agree with you or not.
Yeah.
Now, if the company tells you, "Hey, you're getting a raise, don't give it," it's been pushed off. Hey, you're getting a raise, and then don't give it again. Then I think then I'm with you.
Well, unless we forget,
100%.
most of those people that were being laid off from
Oh
Raven
yeah, they
had to
all do.
move for their new job, too. They asked
Yeah,
them to move less than 6 months ago and are now laying them off.
yeah. Well, also, as Dark saying,
Yeah.
all big game companies do stuff like this. It's crap like this that broke the music industry.
Yeah, it is.
It's kind of bull crap like this. People with no talent, you know, using people with talent as pawns to get stuff done and make themselves rich.
Well, and if I was to give you the question of how much money do you think Activision Blizzard reported for this last quarter of the year? For the third quarter, I'm sorry, for third quarter.
Yeah, it'd be the third quarter,
Yeah.
and they'll get the other numbers next year.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I know they that it was a bounce back. I don't remember the exact number though.
1.88 billion.
Yeah, yeah,
And then, hey, your jobs are gone now. Thanks. Bye. So yeah, it's become a pretty big thing. Quite a few groups have said, "Hey, we support Raven and we're done," and left. And there's been a little bit of shakedown with this with the Game Awards. I don't know if you heard about that or not.
yeah. They're not going to be there. They're not. They're not. They're not going to be there. They're not going to have them there.
Well, they said that now, but that's not what they
Yeah.
said originally.
Yeah.
So Jeff Keighley, the face of the Game Awards, who's in charge of the Game Awards, the man who publicly called out Konami for firing Kojima,
Right.
said on Twitter, "We're not going to discuss the Activision Blizzard thing," which means that Activision Blizzard had announcements to make at the Game Awards.
Yeah.
Because it just wasn't going to be. They weren't going to do anything about it, and he got raked across the coals for it.
Yeah.
Rightly so, I would say, because the question then becomes, hey, this is your show that you have fought tooth and nail to have your own control over. You stood on that stage and publicly defended somebody who the entire gaming industry agreed, hey, it's not his fault. And
Yeah.
then you only did that because he was your friend? You didn't actually, you know?
Yeah.
Have we forgotten that a woman is dead,
Oh.
Jeff? And so people got upset. And
Yeah.
now Activision Blizzard is not invited to the Game Awards.
Yeah.
But
They're the just ridiculous ego of that company trying to hold on. And look,
yeah,
I know most people don't really realize this. Market crashed last week, and actually over the past couple of weeks, the markets had a hard time going
Yeah.
down a few percentage points. Remember, if you see the Nasdaq down 2%, 2% may not sound like a lot. That's billions.
yeah, it's a lot of money.
That's billions of dollars. And yeah, so there's been a few others. There's a couple. There's a couple other companies outside gaming that are
Right.
catching a lot of flack right now for laying off a lot of people. And
Yeah.
one guy did it. Just, oh man,
We touched on it briefly, Dark, but we didn't go into detail about how Bobby Kotick was still a part of the problem himself
yeah,
and yet still has his job. Basically, what we said at the time was just, yeah, of course,
yeah,
you know? And all this just makes it even worse, you know?
yeah,
This behavior that I firmly believe that this has shown that people will continue to buy games even if they know the developers are doing scummy practices, which we already knew anyway, but this has shown it to everybody. And that
yeah,
no
but
matter how
yeah,
much is done, nothing's going to change. I don't mean that to sound negative, but like we need to be supporting the indie devs or the devs that aren't crunching, but it doesn't matter because why would we support a specific group when that group over there is making Mario on the back of people working 60-hour work weeks, you know?
yeah, yeah. It's. Hold on, looking something out right here. I want to check
Yeah.
something before I speak on it. Getting spell.
And like maybe I'm crazy, right? Maybe I'm insane, but I'm that guy that goes, "Oh, I really like this thing." And then I find out that somebody like that's head up in charge of it did this terrible thing to somebody and my brain goes, "I don't want to have anything to do with it anymore." Like for instance, I was a huge Rooster Teeth fan, right? And
Mm,
then a huge Achievement Hunter fan, right? For a long time.
yeah,
Watched them from when I was like super young and worked my way through. And then I find out that one of the guys was like using his position basically to be able to sleep with fans, and some of them were underage. It's like, okay, well, I can't watch their stuff anymore
right.
because it's tainted now. It's broken for me. It's not the same, you know. Yeah,
Okay.
Ubisoft still has the most for sure.
Let's see if I can get this out. Okay, so on, let's see, earlier this year, Activision had probably their beginning of this year. They probably their stock was higher, probably just about than it had ever been,
Yeah,
over $100, right? Over $100 per share. Right now, is at $58.77 per share. It's lost half its value
yeah,
from its high point. That's billions of dollars.
mm-hmm.
Yes. Here's the problem on the other side of that. Okay, they pay dividends out of that.
Yeah,
So if you own their stock, which I will not, I do not,
right,
you will get money for it.
right,
They'll give you a change, right? So lost half that. Obviously, a lot of people, a lot of shareholders in stock, not only lost a lot of money, but
yeah,
also a lot of future money if dividends not going to pay out as much. They can get sued for that.
yeah,
So keeping this douchebag on the top
yeah,
to using his proper name, has more to do with that than it
yes,
does how he treats the employees
right,
or how they treat the customers. If you want a how much how crappy this company is, go back and take a good hard look at the World of Warcraft map and see how big it is
yeah,
compared to some others. And I think you'll realize just how much you've got fooled and ripped off by this
yeah,
company.
for sure. It's always again the fact that their response to all the literally our response to the sexual allegations and the sexual assault allegations is not only do we put Bobby Kotick in charge, knowing he's a part of it, but we put him in charge and then go, well, we're going to change Jesse McCree's name so that he's not referencing that sexual assault person that's been fired already.
Yeah.
Bobby Kotick's still in charge.
Yeah. It's all it's ridiculous. And like I said, unfortunately, you've got, Dark
Yeah,
rightfully
100%.
ranting,
100%.
ranting on this. And, obviously somebody cares. We care.
Yeah.
The people that listen to us care about this. There's a lot of people that don't. A lot of
Yeah.
people that haven't even, don't care enough that the news hasn't got to them.
Right.
Because you have to remember in this social media world, if you're not looking up gaming,
Yeah, you're
you're
not
not
getting it.
getting you're not getting gaming news.
No.
If you're not looking up video games, if you go just buy a video game from Walmart, Target, whatever,
Yeah.
every once in a while, look at the cover, hey, I got an Xbox, I'm take it home. You're
Right.
not going to get gaming news.
That's
They've
right.
separated you off from that. And that's a dangerous thing, and that's a whole other
Right. That's a
thing that
whole
I
other
will
discussion, but I agree.
right. and it's why this crap, and they can keep running it
Yeah.
and keep doing the stuff. And look, I'm not gonna go over what Dark is saying. I think it's fair and I think it should be
Yeah.
read.
I agree.
And I'll leave that
100%.
I'll leave that for others to go through to read over. But
Yeah.
that's the facts.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't imagine being in game development right now. I can't. Right? Like there are still indie studios that are doing great. I'm doing my
Yeah,
best not to rant right now, you know, because
yeah,
I could just go. But there are indie studios that are doing so good. You got like super giant, right? Less than 100 people. They're not crunching anybody. This team loves being there. There's no problems. Everything's going great. They only made 4 games. They've only made 4 games, and all 4 of them are classics. All 4 of them are top of the charts. All 4 of them have they have claimed their place in gaming, you know?
yeah.
And they're just a small team. Meanwhile, Call of Duty keeps taking numbers like crazy, and they're behind the scenes ruining people's lives.
Well, it's like we had a talk. I think it was the other night, you and I, because I was talking about Enad Global 7,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Now this is not an American company, but they're over Daybreak Games. It used to be
yeah.
Sony Online Entertainment. They
Mm-hmm.
bought that. They're over Daybreak. Subsidiary of that, they've got Standing Stone, right?
Yeah.
This little company that has Lord of the Rings Online and D&D Online
Mm-hmm.
that has a team of I think 40 people
Right.
right now. And the reason they're having some customer service problems right now because everybody got promoted.
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
there's these. It's like, what?
What do we do
That's
now?
that's amazing. That's
Yeah.
amazing. They're hiring new people because everybody got promoted in up to a higher position.
Yeah.
One, I don't know the girl's name. One girl was there. She was working with the customer service
Right.
while going to college. She is a developer.
Yeah.
And I don't understand why Enad Global's not huge. It is
Right.
a multinational company, but it's not compared to Activision or Ubisoft
Right.
or some of the others. Not huge. How this company that's can put the small amount in and keep their people happy and taken
Yeah.
care of, and happy to be there,
Yes.
and this billion-dollar company can't do it.
Right. I think there's a bigger issue too that it comes down to for me, which is that I think we as consumers, and this could also take us down a very different road. I'm being very
Yeah,
careful, but I think we as consumers have forgotten that we're the ones that control who the big names are. Like, yes, they have all this money. Ubisoft has all this money. They lose it all if people stop buying their games today.
yeah,
You know, um, we could make devs teams bigger. We could make bigger dev teams smaller, which I'm not saying anybody needs to get fired, but we have the control over that. And instead, it's just, hey, I need to play the next one of this series that's coming out. And I'm the same guy, right? Ryuga Gotoku Studios puts out a new Yakuza. I'm there day one. Day one, I'm there. But
yeah.
that studio hasn't done terrible things to their employees that I know about.
I, I
It's just
want to
like,
bring a point to
you
I
know,
want to bring a point to something Dark has said here
yeah,
about you liking Ubisoft games, and I'm sorry that you're having to go through Far Cry 6, Dark.
yeah, for sure.
The um, the problem is Ubisoft is a production company,
Yeah,
not and that honestly that when you start looking at these people that are causing the problems, they may at one time been developers,
yep,
but right now
yep,
they are in production. They are not in development.
that's right.
They're the ones that sit back and tell you, "Oh, do this,
Yeah,
fix
the
that,
devs are still
fix
working
that."
hard.
Yeah, and that's heartbreaking.
Yeah,
And that's why, man, Ubisoft put a great game. The Ubisoft company just drive you nuts,
right.
and it's hard to get all consumers on the same page because there's so
It is.
game. It's such a diverse community, right?
It is.
I mean, you look at like EA, what they've done with a
Oh,
lot of the sports games. Some
yeah,
of and some of their things, it's just not good, and
right.
the loot box crap, gambling crap.
Yeah.
Yet
And now
I can,
NFTs.
yeah. And now, you can stop enough people from playing, let's say, Madden. They can lose their numbers there. But I'm sorry, you are not going to stop a huge portion of the Brazilian population from picking up the FIFA game,
That's right. 100%.
you
Every
know,
time it comes out.
or the Spanish or the Italian.
Yep.
Other places where they
Every time it comes out.
that's why we will never have a united stand against EA. You know, Americans might stand against people who love Madden
Right.
or love football might stand against it, but or people who love soccer or American football American,
Football.
depending on football
Yeah.
American, and then football. The it's I don't know. It's just
Right.
I don't see how you get those groups together. And it's going to be the
Yeah.
same way with a lot of this. And when you start digging to it, like we're saying, some of these poor developers, these coders, these people that do concept art
They're just
and
doing their
everything
job as best they can.
that they have, and then you got some. And look, if you want a perfect example of how a producer ruins the product, the Hobbit movies. It was a
Yep.
production company. It was a
Yep.
production company that wanted the everything upgrade. It was a
Yep.
production company that wanted the love triangle,
Make that
and
dragon CG.
it's the same crap. It look how many times we talk about Fallout 4 and the crap that they did. That the
Yep.
game is almost so perfect. Almost. But because of production company, you get crap cut, stuff missed,
Yep.
some great storyline stuff, and then by the end of it, because of that, fair. The uh, you don't have a consistent story all the way through,
Right.
and that's why people are sick of don't buy the end of it.
Yeah. You also have like the other problem sometimes with the auteur, right? Because if you don't have, I fully agree, the production is where things break, right? But if you don't have a strong lead, then things can fall apart. But if you have
Yeah,
too strong a lead, you can get crazy. Like people talk about Kojima, right? I love Metal Gear
yeah,
Solid. I think they're great. They're also insane. But I think that he's just on the right edge of that. Then you get something like Death Stranding, which is bonkers, but it's still enjoyable. But you compare
yeah,
that to like David Cage, who goes, "Hey, I want Elliot Page in my game just so I can look at him naked," and then pays Elliot Page enough to get him in the game so we can look
yeah,
at him naked. And it's like you gotta have
yeah,
that balance. You can't go full. I just completely forgot his name. I said it just a second ago. David Cage. You cannot go full David Cage. You just can't do it. It's not
yeah,
safe. It's not
uh,
safe. Just don't.
yeah.
David Cage walks into a room and every woman in the room just goes,
Yeah.
ugh.
Uh, yeah. Mm,
For sure, though. For sure. Yeah. I'm with you, Dark. For sure.
yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah. I came up with an idea for a topic that I think might be fun.
All right.
And then I lost it during the course of that discussion. I should have written it down because that
Yeah.
discussion went away I didn't expect, right? I had to segue and then we moved and it was good. Don't get me wrong. It was very
Yeah.
good.
All right.
So, with that said, though, we finished off our news for the week. We could go ahead and tackle a topic, and I wish I could
All right.
remember what the one that I had was.
I don't know.
Or we could look at next year in video games, but I think it's still a little early in the month for that.
No, no. So we got two more.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, we had to do that before the closer to the end of the
Oh,
year.
the Ubisoft NFTs. Yeah. So, should we talk about that real quick? Because this is real dumb. I didn't put it on the docket because I hate it, but we probably should.
Yeah.
I hate
NFT,
NFTs.
non-fungible tokens.
I hate the
I
idea of an NFT because I don't fully I'll be the first one to say I don't fully understand everything, but from where I'm sitting,
yeah.
I can just right click save that picture, man. Sure, I
Yeah.
don't own the original file, but neither do you.
Well, yeah. Um, it is kind of a strange thing. Now, look, the AMC is doing the American Movie Company, right? They're doing non-fungible tokens,
Yeah,
but theirs is like, hey, the new Spider-Man's coming out. If you buy your tickets in advance on the app or whatever, hey, you're gonna get a Spider-Man one. We got like 86,000 of them.
sure.
So hey, you'll get these,
Yeah, why not?
right through that. So it's kind of like well, in Discord or this, you get something to put by your name,
Yeah,
or something like that. It's a show off thing at the end of the day, right?
it is
So
absolutely.
the only value an NFT has is what we give it. Yes.
Right. Absolutely. I
Yeah.
agree.
Otherwise, it's ones and zeros and nothing else.
Right.
The so I think I'm not like against NFTs.
Right.
A thing is just how are they used?
Yeah.
And are you using it to rip people off?
Which is what
Ubisoft?
most of it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
the I guess my perception of it is also very strict because my perception of it is what I see on Twitter. And do you remember when veganism first became like a big thing?
Like I probably yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Well, no, because look, what do you mean by okay
Okay. So,
for you when was because it rises and falls. So when are
right.
you
It's
talking
like
about?
97, 98.
Okay. Yeah.
When that was all that vegans would, and not all vegans, let me clarify, but that was
Yeah.
all that the vocal vegans would talk about is how they were vegan. And if you're not vegan, you're stupid. You're being, you're killing the environment. All I see on Twitter from people that want NFTs are the crypto and the this is the brand new form of entertainment. And if you're not on this right now,
Yeah.
then you're gonna get left behind.
Okay. Let me try to put it this way. Let me think about change it up a little bit because obviously Twitter is sewage.
That's
The
true for sure.
let's
100%.
say okay, Hideo Kojima sits
Yeah.
down at his computer one day, makes a digital artwork, draws a snake. It's got few behind,
Right.
right? I think it's an
Yeah.
original thing. He puts it through that. Now it's ones and zeros. He did it on his computer,
Right.
bring it up, but it's never gonna be seen anywhere, to
By
that.
anybody.
Yeah,
Right.
right. Yeah, you can copy and so if you put it up on the internet, it can be copy and paste it. But if he
Right.
gave it to you and you didn't put it on the internet,
Right.
and let's say it's more than that. Let's say he did let's say he made a short level,
Yeah.
like a 5 minute play, 5 minute play, and there's only one
Right.
in the world. Now, look, there's no physical copy of it. It is all digital.
Right.
But the I bet that I would be honored to have that, and I
Right.
would
For
think
sure.
that
Absolutely.
would be valuable.
Yeah.
I think NFTs, just like anything else, are going to be ruined by people.
Yes.
You
This
know,
is this is why my perception of this is this way is because people will go, look at this cool NFT I bought
yeah, no,
and then post it. Like then
yeah,
I own that now too. What do you mean?
right. I can copy
Everyone
it.
owns
Yeah,
that now.
yeah.
It's literally going into Google Images as we speak right now.
See, the thing is we use NFTs all the time. We just don't
Right.
call them NFTs.
Yeah.
Like I said, if you put, if you want extra icons on Twitch here,
Yeah.
you, put,
Absolutely.
you can pay some money, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well,
And
and
same for Discord, you can get a Nitro subscription, right?
absolutely.
And you get more stuff. You can put up more icons, more
Yeah.
symbols, right? That's
Well, realistically, a trading card is like an NFT, right? Except they made a bunch of them, which is where the idea of an NFT breaks for me. Like if there's a bunch of them and anybody can
yeah,
get them, then it's just a
yeah,
collectible. You know?
right. And see, that's what I think. That's what the brain where it breaks down because of how the internet works, right?
Yeah.
It just becomes like she's saying the excuse me, as Dark's saying there, they're meant to be sold uh digitally,
Right.
right? Now that doesn't, and I think that might be where a little thing comes in. An NFT is digital. It
Right.
doesn't
Instead of
necessarily mean it
physical.
has to, instead of being, it doesn't necessarily mean that it has to go out to the internet,
Right.
you know. But I don't know. To me, it's it's something that's going to be used wrong.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
it could be. I think there's some cool stuff out there. There's
For
some
sure.
original stuff out there. The but at the end of the day, people are. It's if you buy an NFT, you're paying too much money for it.
For sure. And again, I always go back to, hey, I just bought this NFT. Here it is. Look at it. Look how cool it is. Like, all
Yeah.
right, well, you wasted your money because now we all have it.
Right. Yeah.
Everyone exists. Only the cool
Yeah.
kids have extensive NFT collections. That's true.
Yeah. No.
That's true. Uh, Again, though, this is just me. Instead of giving you an NFT when I buy a ticket, give me like a postcard or give me a collectible coin. That's a Detective Pikachu hat from the Detective Pikachu movie.
Well, like I said, yeah. If
Be a little figurine.
and that's normally the way it would be done. You do that at the box office, right there at
Yeah,
the ticket holder. But that does nothing for your online ticket
for
buyer. Well, I
sure.
guess
For
they
sure.
go on there. I don't know. It's a hard push to everything being on credit and online, and like
Yeah.
I said, there's other
There's,
issues
yeah. Yeah.
that we can talk about.
You and I could
I
get
feel like
lost in the weeds real quick on that one.
I think so too. Yeah, DLC
Mhm.
is in a way, yeah, counts counts as probably the best form of NFT
Yeah.
for that. So I don't know. It's a little bit ridiculous. It's like anything else. I think it's gonna be ruined. I would love
Also,
to have
like,
an visual. Go ahead. Go ahead.
as Dark has pointed out, yes, why are so many NFTs so ugly?
Yeah.
Like, people talk about the monkey, right? Have you seen the monkey image? Where he's got, like, snot coming out of his nose and his tongue's hanging out? Why?
I
What,
don't know.
what's the
Because they
purpose?
can.
I guess so. I guess so.
But
Oh,
the most expensive NFTs we'll never see.
that's true. That's
And that's
true.
something
Those
that
are real NFTs.
well, I guess, like I said, but that's something that's factual right now. The most
Yeah.
expensive NFTs that we'll never see.
So normally we roll to pick a topic, but if it's okay with you, I think we have one that kind of ties back into what we were talking about earlier, and it's because I remembered what I was going to say for our topic. We were talking about how
Yeah.
people always buy like the new Call of Duty and everything.
Yeah.
What do you think about why do people like Michael Bay movies? Talking about the ease of turning your brain off to enjoy entertainment.
Yeah, we can cover that.
Because I think there are games that do it well, and I think there are games that do it really poorly. You know? Uh,
Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a fan of I guess I don't hate Michael Bay movies,
right,
but it is I'm not watching it for to learn anything.
right. It's
Yeah.
literally turn your brain off, watch explosion go
Yeah.
off.
Yeah. Which I think that I may be wrong with this, but I think something that works better, something that a guy understands better than or the masculine would understand better than the feminine
Yeah, there you
on
go.
that.
That's the way to word that. It doesn't get us
Yeah,
in trouble.
right. Just that empty box that turn off for a little bit.
Yeah. I think
So
though there are better ways to do it than just because like the way that you see it is like this is the general idea of a video game player, right? They come home,
yeah,
they sit down at the computer, they play Counter Strike for 6 hours, and they go to bed.
right.
And there's nothing wrong with that. There are people that's what they need to de-stress, right?
Yeah.
But there is a variant of that, which is I don't have to think about anything. Hands do all the motions for me. I can turn
Hmm.
my brain off, which is different from I just want to relax. I just want to de-stress.
Yeah.
And I think that is what a Michael Bay movie is for, right? It's I'm gonna go watch this Transformers movie. I'm not even gonna know who half these characters are because they're not even colored up like Transformers. They're just kind of going, you know.
Yeah.
Some of them are gonna die. We're not gonna spend any time on it. We're just gonna keep moving, and I don't have to think about anything. I can just watch cool action. And me personally, I don't think it looks cool,
That's fair. But
so it doesn't work for me.
let me ask I got a question for our chat here. If they give me an answer, what do you think about the Three Stooges?
Yeah,
I just want to answer on that. If I get,
yeah.
I won't go into that any further. But anything on the Three Stooges? What do y'all think about the Yeah, I'm just curious because the original, the three Curly, Larry, and Moe.
Hmm.
I'll take Curly, Larry, and Shemp,
Sure.
not fake Shemp. That's sad. But I think the most classic ones are the original Curly, Larry, and Moe.
Yeah, for sure.
Um, Most well known. And that, are they good or not? And I'm just kind of curious to see what the makeup of our, they may not even watch it. They may never
Yeah, may have
see
never
that
seen them.
different from the they are a
Sure.
mesh. They can sometimes be funny. Okay.
Different way to
Just kind
engage for
of,
sure.
yeah, that's a little bit. I don't know because it's like
Sometimes borderline funny. That makes sense.
sometimes borderline mean, yeah, funny, but sometimes borderline mean, yeah.
Yeah.
They See, I think I the Three Stooges is stupid. I love it. I absolutely love it.
Right.
Right? I was laughing. I love uh some of the like the cheesy 80 horror movies, right?
Yeah.
Um, the and one of the I tell you the best movie review I've ever read.
What's
Did I
that?
tell you that? Okay, it was in I think it was in the Houston Chronicle,
Right.
and it was for Jason 10, Jason X, Jason 10,
Yeah. Jason in
Jason in Space.
space.
Yes, and the reviewer basically said, "Look, there's a reason this movie was made. If you don't understand the reason this movie was
Right.
made, you're not going to like the movie.
Yes.
There's no point in me doing." And he didn't give it a score
Yeah.
because it's like if you don't understand the Mo vote for Mo. That's awesome. If you don't understand, you're not going to get it. And I think I think that it goes a lot.
Yeah.
A
For
lot of
sure.
things. It's like I don't like the song WAP.
Yeah.
She's not making that song for me.
Right.
That song has nothing to do with me. So so I don't like it. And I think sometimes maybe in our jump to what is what,
Yeah.
I think sometimes that gets overlooked.
For sure. I agree.
You know?
For sure. I think that there's nothing. I want to clarify this too. There's nothing wrong with turn your brain off stuff either. I
Yeah.
think that sometimes you need that, right?
Yeah.
But I also think that it is becoming standard for some things in
Okay.
a way that I don't know that I like.
That's true. That's exactly that is exactly true. But here's something to think about in society, okay?
Hmm.
What does WWW stand for?
World Wide Web.
That has 3 syllables. WWW has 9.
Right.
How is that shorter?
Yeah.
Okay? That's this
For
is
sure.
a mentality. This is a mentality we're working with.
I agree.
You
I agree
know?
100%.
Okay.
There's the same people that would rather say lol than laugh. You just laugh.
Yeah.
Just
X was
open your
made.
mouth and go, ha.
Jason 10 was made to keep the copyright. They actually put some effort into it, unlike the Fantastic Four movies.
That's true. That's true. And so, like, it gets to this point where our mainstream, and don't get me wrong, I love some mainstream media too, right? But our mainstream quickly becomes very formulaic of, hey, here's Call of Duty game, and I love Call of Duty at times, right? I love the multiplayer sometimes. Here's Call of Duty game. You're going to go through most of this level doing small incursions, and then something's going to crash. And
Yes.
there's going to be a big explosion, and then you're going to have a moment where your character has to like stumble away from it. And you can literally pull up videos on YouTube of the exact same animations being used in multiple Call of Duty games because they
Oh,
know
yeah.
nobody cares. They know.
Oh, dude. Oh, so we talked about Madden earlier, right?
Yeah.
They've got in Madden 20. If the banners in the stadium said Madden 19 because they
Yeah.
just forgot to change it.
Because they know nobody cares.
Cares, or not. Yeah, or not enough people care, right?
Right. And then you
That's it.
turn that to like people get frustrated with like Marvel movies because they all follow the same pattern. And of course they do. They're comic books. Those
Yeah.
all follow the same pattern,
Yeah.
For Marvel comics and DC comics. There are obviously some other comics that don't. But it just winds up becoming generic's not the right word, but it winds up becoming like a soup almost, of you go to a nice restaurant. I'm going to throw out an analogy here that may not work. You go to a nice restaurant and you order the best soup they have, but it's still a soup. And you've had
Yeah.
soup all week long.
Yes.
That's true. Michael Bay did film a section of road that CGI'd different things for different movies. That is correct.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that like Marvel movies themselves are bad or Call of Duty is bad. It's just like it leads to this expectation. And I think gaming in many ways has started to move away from it. Because now when you have games being played in movies, it's either the shooter or it's like a serious story-based action game following. Look, I'm not gonna make this seem less like soup when I say this, but serious action game following a parental figure trying to rescue a small child out of a bad situation in either a post-apocalypse or in inclement weather, which is 29 games that have come out in the last 3 years.
The funny thing is, there's you study literature, uh, but like the makeup of it and everything else, right? Look
Yeah,
at Western literature, and
it's
you basically
almost
come
always a
down.
white guy.
No, the when I say Western literature, why does Spain always get left out?
Yeah, no, I think Dark's comment was to my 29 games. It's
Oh,
almost always a
also,
white
also, okay.
guy.
Sorry, I was on my
No,
literature
you're good. You're good.
conversation.
I agree, though.
Um,
Spain should not be left out.
right. The uh, the there's only 7 stories.
Right.
There's only 7 stories, right?
Yes.
The problem is, it seems like a lot of these game development companies and a lot of movie companies, stuff like that, think that's well, no, you lay the story out. There's only 7 ways to lay it. No,
Right.
no,
It's
no,
like,
no,
no,
no.
no,
You
please,
still
no.
you still put it through
Yes.
your own things. You still
That's
make it
right.
original.
You make your own story with the framework of the 7 story.
I don't know. So many games now have, you can create your own character.
Yeah.
That's a big thing. A lot of them.
But
That and then except for
follow
the ones with
the
the name, yeah,
follow
there's all the
parental
names.
figure through like God of War, Last of Us. Although Last
Yeah,
of Us 2 has you. I hate that game. Um no, it just like it we have become both the most like video games have become both the most non-generic and then also the most generic in that video games are represented by Fortnite and Call of Duty, you know?
yeah,
When there's so much more to it than that.
yeah. Well, if you find a formula that people buy, look, this is it's the same reason with pop music, right?
Yeah,
You make a formula,
absolutely.
people will buy it. You need no musical talent except a halfway decent voice to
Right.
be a pop star today, if you know the right people,
Yeah.
right? It's just a formula.
Well, and the
Yeah,
same thing happens with movies nowadays, right? Because
yeah,
once Guardians of the Galaxy proved that people love it when characters are quippy, guess what happened?
yeah. Everybody's got everybody got to be quippy.
Can't have serious moments in movies anymore. Got to throw in those jokes.
Yeah.
You know,
The problem is it's the same 4 chords.
that's correct.
Same 4 chords, or at least the tonal difference between the chords is the
Yeah,
same. You know.
we're just gonna make
Ugh.
ourselves sad talking about this. You know what
Well,
has? Well, never
what it
mind. I was
means
gonna
it
say
just
something
means you
that's
have
not
it
true.
means you have to dig
Yeah.
it means you have to dig a little bit between what you're getting like shown to you because
Yes,
hundreds of hours of thought is put into everything
that's
you
correct.
see,
That's correct.
especially if it's put on, especially if it's given to you,
John
right?
says
Getting
that.
showed out.
Yeah.
At the end of the doubt. So you have to go beyond, or
Yeah.
you're gonna believe, or you're just gonna buy the bubble narrative that you're
That's
in,
right. That's right.
and you're gonna think that stupid stuff.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense. You're gonna think about things, but you're not gonna think through it.
Yes. Well, and we see this in books too, right? It's not just
Yeah.
movies and TV shows and video games. Books have had this problem for a long time. You want a romance novel. Okay. What kind of romance novel? Do you want extreme BDSM romance novel? Or do you want Harlequin romance novel from the dime store? Well,
Yeah.
no, I want a serious. Okay, then you don't want a romance novel. You want
Right.
fiction. Okay, well, what kind of fiction do I want? Okay, you want science fiction. You want space. Okay, then you want aliens. No, I just want. Okay, then you want aliens. Because aliens. Well, no.
There's
Okay, well,
you.
give me like maybe just a like down to earth hometown guy coming back home meets a nice girl. No, that doesn't exist. You only have Harlequin romance novels for that.
Oh.
uh,
Yeah. No, those are abuse. Those
nice,
shouldn't.
Dark. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Those are abuse. That's a little bit
For
different.
sure.
The but
And like, don't get me wrong, I love a good fiction novel, but
yeah.
Rugrid, have you looked at young adult fiction lately?
Mm-hmm.
It is like you have your, like you said, you have your pieces of gold in the river, right?
Right.
And then you have everything else. And I don't
Look,
mean that to be rude, but like you said, it's here is the story, the coming of age story, and we're not gonna give it our own spin. We're not gonna try and change it. It's just same story beats every time.
dude, I had people trying to convince me. Now look, I'm pretty well read.
Right.
Okay. I tried people trying to convince me, Twilight was high quality writing.
Yeah.
And look, so somebody told me that, and I was like, okay, I'll pick it up, and it's not.
No.
It's honestly, it's like about sixth grade level.
So
You know, not some of the content, but the books.
I have read so many books that are like high school girl is like anemic or weak or
Hmm.
hurt in some way, and then boy is super powered and has to help her. And then the reverse side of that is boy is like the upbeat person that's going to help her, but by the end of the book the girl dies and the boy has to move on without her. Like there's only 6 stories in books basically. And then you have every other book that is great.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's
Ugh.
high school drama.
Yeah.
High school drama is always, yeah,
Yeah.
always been there.
For anybody that is looking for good book
Well,
recommendations, if you have yet to read Stormlight
I just
Archive, keep that in mind. It's very good.
I don't, and then I see that the girls always has to be weak. So tired of it. I That's not the stories I read.
Right. There's some great stories that have really strong female characters, and then there's
Right.
the generic.
Yeah, and
Like,
like
all I'm
one of my
saying is,
favorite stories with a female is like a female is one of the most powerful characters there.
right.
Lord of the Rings Online.
Yeah.
Lady Galadriel is
Mhm.
powerful.
All I'm saying is Stormlight Archive, Yesna Kholin is an incredible character that does not take crud from anybody.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah,
But see,
this,
I don't know. Maybe it is because I'm not in touch with the media today. I
yeah,
didn't grow up with that. I grew up with
right.
Ripley.
Yeah,
Ripley from
absolutely.
Aliens. You know,
Absolutely. It
you
has
know.
it has boggled my mind how we have turned from strong female character into like cuz the how do I word this nicely? The preconception is that the girl has to be the princess to be saved, right? But when I was growing up, that preconception had already been thrown away. That preconception
Yeah,
had been moved on from and things were getting great. And then now I look at what my siblings are watching and I'm like, "Why?
yeah,
Why did we go back? What
yeah.
happened?"
No, like I said, same with video games, man.
Yeah.
Laura Croft, straight out the bat, that female character.
Yeah.
Ah, love Xena, love Hercules
Oh
and
yeah.
Xena. I'll do that.
But no, it's boggled my mind. And then also like the idea of I'm gonna rant here if I'm not careful, but the idea of well, we want to make this female character strong now, so we're gonna make her just a man. She's
Yeah,
gonna look like a girl, but she's gonna act like a man. Like, but you could you don't have to change who Tila is as a character for her to be strong in He-Man. She can
yeah.
just be Tila. She was already strong.
Well, see, I see. Here's the thing, like the masculine and the feminine, right?
Yeah.
Feminine has power. The
Right.
feminine has power. The
Absolutely.
masculine has power.
Yes.
Now, there's toxic forms of both of those.
Absolutely.
There's toxic forms of both of those, and that's horrible.
Yes.
That but both of those have power.
Yeah.
I don't, like I said, I don't want to get into it too much here
Yeah.
or get caught out of context. Like Captain Marvel was, I sat down. It was okay. It works better for me in the
Mm.
if I watch it in chronological order instead of release order. But yeah, and also I don't like somebody who lies about their stunt people.
Yep. Fully
I,
agree.
I mean, I have a lot of respect for the stunt people that, they bring the movie to life. Yeah, I get the actor standing there, the actress standing there, and I love it when they do a good job. That's the
Mm-hmm.
face, the face of it. But all the cool stuff they do, you know, give
Yeah.
credit where credit's due.
100%.
Yeah,
Yeah. I also did
I,
not super enjoy Captain
yeah,
Marvel.
yeah,
No, I think that like we've turned to like you said, we have to have the same story every time, and so we just turn it off. You don't have to follow it, and I think that's why stuff like Squid Game hits so big and becomes so popular, is
yeah,
because it's not that same old idea. And granted, if you've seen the idea before, it kind of is, right? If you've seen
yeah,
Kaiji or you've seen the death game style thing, like with Danganronpa, it kind of
Cube,
just is that.
yeah, Cube,
Right,
Cube falls under that
absolutely.
for me.
But so many people haven't seen those niche things
Yeah,
that they hear about this idea and they go, wow, that's really unique.
It's the headline. I think it's the headline mentality of society, right?
Yeah,
People read the headlines, get all mad, then don't read the article.
yeah,
And half the time, I promise you, you read the headline. If it upsets you, read the article.
right.
It's not what the headline said.
That's right. When we see the same thing with that happened with Squid Game with like the Hunger Games, right? Nobody had ever read Battle Royale or watched Battle Royale, and so they went, "This is a brand new thing that's never been done before." It's like, well, no, actually, Battle Royale came out in the '50s. Look,
Yeah, yeah,
you know,
yeah,
you know, Alita Battle Angel is a great series.
yeah,
I agree with that.
yeah. And look, Captain Marvel's not one of my favorite characters.
Right.
Uh, though not all my favorite characters are male either, because I love Storm.
Oh yeah.
Storm is one of my favorite.
Look, if we're just
Definitely.
talking strong comic book characters, like strong female comic book characters, can we talk Emma Frost?
Yeah, yeah. Emma Frost is badass. She's a. I couldn't. The thing is, I would trust Storm.
Oh, for sure. No,
But-
you don't trust Emma Frost, but Emma Frost is gonna take care of Emma Frost.
yeah.
Emma Frost is one of those characters that, like, when they gave her a love interest, I was like, okay, I don't know how this is gonna go, and then she is so loyal to Scott
Yeah.
while still being Emma Frost that I was just like, all right, yeah, heck yeah, let's go. And I like him way more with her than I ever did him with Jean.
Rogue, Kitty Pryde, and Jubilee. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, and you know what? Yes, they were female, but I've got stacks of comic books through the 80s and
Right.
90s, early 2000s going through there. And it just kind of hit me now. It was never like, okay, they're girls.
Yeah, they were
It was
never
like,
treated as lesser because of it.
it was like, okay, these are their powers. Like
Yeah.
Storm's up here. Kitty Pryde's story is
Right.
crazy. And look, the daddy daughter relationship with Wolverine.
Yeah.
Especially through the 90s when when she accidentally sent him to the limbo. It was
Yeah.
sad. Uh, it's like
There were some good
pretty
runs of
harsh
Jean
on
Grey.
Jean, but yeah,
There were some good
yeah,
runs of Jean Grey, but everything recent has been terrible.
yeah. I agree. They can't. She's as a Dark Phoenix. I don't know. It's hard to handle a character that powerful, right?
It is, absolutely.
On through that, and I don't think they've done a good job with her. I think that's why I don't know. Like with Storm, Kitty Pryde,
Right.
Rogue, Jubilee. One of the things that made them great characters.
Right.
The female thing secondary. The great
Yes, that's right.
characters is they had to. There was something there they were overcoming.
Yeah.
Right. Rogue never thought she would have a romance.
Right. She never
Not
thought
any
she could
kind
be
of
with anybody.
body, right?
Yeah.
Physical thing. They each had something that they were struggling against,
Mhm.
but overcame and did the right thing.
That's right.
It was never about male and female. It was about
Right.
character.
And it was the same thing that made all the male characters, well, not all, but made the good male characters interesting too. Was,
Yeah,
hey,
that's what I'm
there's a
saying.
flaw here and we have to work past
Yeah.
it. Yeah, for sure.
That's why Wolverine has got
Yeah.
all kinds of issues, and he works past it, and he's a good character, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Raven's a great character.
Oh, that you just reminded me of Scott Summers and how much better he is in the comics than he is in everything else.
Yeah.
Because, like, his
Well, he
guilt.
could be a douche. Yeah.
Right. His guilt
But-
is what drives him to be such a great character. And
Yeah.
then in all the more recent stuff, they just don't have that guilt. Like, lest we forget, issue like 4 of X-Men, Scott's glasses are knocked off and he murders someone.
Yeah.
And he has to spend the rest. He's a jerk at first because he can't deal with it, but eventually he comes to terms with it and has to take up a role as one of the leaders of the team. And like it's really tough for him, you know. And then in the more recent stuff, it's just like, nah, he's just a jock.
Yeah. Well, it's like how we're talking about Jean being handled here
Yeah.
recently. I don't remember where the storyline is, but one of her storylines, which are probably not canon anymore,
Right.
with all the retcon and everything, she kind of had a thing with that where she killed some people close to her with her.
It was her cousins, wasn't it?
I think so.
They were out
I
playing,
do
and
that.
she tried to stop the swing, and accidentally like sent it.
Yeah.
If memory serves,
that.
it's been a while. I could be wrong
But,
on that, but
Yeah,
I think
like I said,
that's
I don't think that's canon anymore.
Yeah.
Through that, so I don't know what she's overcoming
Yeah.
or anything. I don't know. She's a weird character all
Yeah.
around. tough to pin down.
for sure. But that's just,
I think she works as a villain.
Oh, I agree. I think she's a great villain. But
So
I think if you want to play her great as a villain, you really need to set up that dynamic of Jean is the team mom, and then now Dark Phoenix is not that
yeah,
at all. And
yeah,
everybody still remembers her as team mom and now has to go fight against her, And you don't
yeah.
set that up, there's no stakes.
It didn't work. No.
Yeah.
Well, that's all. We're not given any characters, not given any depth. You're supposed to have the story. You're supposed to like the story. It doesn't. You're not. The character doesn't matter. It's the story. And well, no, for a lot of us, we need to. Yes, yeah,
Yeah,
and thank you for calling
100%.
100% dark. And look,
100%.
uh, yeah, 100%.
That's
And look,
not
a lot of
okay.
people, will not did not click for them.
Right.
You know,
100% what happened. Not okay
it,
at all.
and the reason it didn't click for them, Wonder Woman's a woman.
Yeah. Yeah.
That she can't do that, which I have a feeling that everybody knows it's BS.
Yeah.
But
Another one hit me a minute ago, which is the way they write Superman nowadays. Superman nowadays has to be Jesus.
oh, it's always bad.
Superman back in the
Yeah,
day, dying breaths, blast a final message into the moon with his eye beams, saying any of you can be Superman if you care about each other.
yeah,
Like, that's who Superman used to be. Not this, I'm going to fall back into the crowd with my arms outstretched as
right.
I fly slightly above them.
And why in Superman movies do they not ever? It's always kryptonite, right?
Yep.
That's not the only thing he's weak to.
He's weak to magic.
He's weak to magic. That's why he has trouble with Shazam.
And Mr.
Shazam's pure
Mixelplex.
magic. Yes.
It's why Mixelplex, I think, is the
Yeah.
most interesting villain for Superman because he can never stop him. He has to play his games because he physically cannot stop him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, no, everything about Wonder Woman with the scene is
And see, that really
bizarre.
bothers me because I'm a Marvel guy, but I believe in DC. I want DC
Mm.
to do good as well, right? I want the comic book movies to be great.
Yeah,
And they had a start. Honestly, they should have started with the first Wonder Woman movie they made
right.
and built the DC universe out of that.
I agree.
I don't know why they didn't do that.
Dark, there are
That was
so
set
many
up.
good Superman movies. Or not movies, so many good Superman comics. Red Sun, where he lands in Russia instead and is raised under communism.
Yeah.
And it proves that really the character, the man, Clark Kent, is different based on where he's from because he becomes a very different man under the idea of, well, no, communism is right and it must be enforced.
Yeah.
I've said it before, my favorite issue is still the issue where Paul Kent's heart stops when they're fighting Apocalypse.
Yeah.
Not Apocalypse. Can't remember the name of the creature.
On the
but-
DC side,
so good.
Superman has some of the best stories. He also has some of the worst stories on
Yep.
DC.
100%. I don't blame anybody that's like, no, I don't read Superman. Because, like, why would you?
Yeah, you either get, like I said, if he's getting beat up, if they use his weaknesses correctly, it's
Right.
usually a great story.
Yes.
And either that's tugging at his heartstrings, messing with his emotions,
Mm-hmm.
or something else that he's got to overcome. But a lot of times it's just like, well, no, he's Superman, so he comes out good all.
There's an issue where Superman and Supergirl are fighting Darkseid together.
Mhm.
And it's one of my favorite issues because in that fight, the Omega Beams come in for Supergirl. She can dodge them. She's
Yeah.
been proven to be able to dodge them. And Clark moves in the way anyway because he doesn't trust her enough to dodge them. He thinks she's going to get hit. So then later on in the fight, he goes to punch Darkseid, and that twinge in his back makes him move. And Supergirl comes in for the uppercut and goes, "Trust me, Clark."
Yeah.
And so then they have to fight together. It's so good.
Here's this, and the canon fact is that Supergirl is stronger
Right.
than Superman. That's canon.
Yes.
Usually not when she first gets here or is first introduced or anything,
Right.
but as she stays here for a little while, she's more powerful, stronger than Superman.
Yeah. I'm a huge Superman fan, and that's why I don't read Superman comics anymore.
Yeah.
But you know, Spider-Man only had like the Clone Saga. Other than that, Spider-Man's been great. The best heroes are anti-heroes. Yeah, some. I still like the stereotypical hero guy, right? But he needs to also be a character. He can't just be the hero. Batman is very good though.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I like the anti-hero, but I don't think I'd like the anti-hero if there wasn't the heroes.
Yeah.
So
I think that Batman works because Batman knows that he's part of the problem, right? That he's fixing the problem, but he's not fixing the problem because why does
well, I
he
mean,
have the right to make that decision?
it's also kind of a shot at our justice system,
It
right?
absolutely is, yeah.
Um, and the loopholes and things that if you
Mm-hmm.
have the money or yeah, there's a little bit of a shot in there. There is a little bit there is satire in comic books,
Yeah, for sure.
you know. So I don't
You
know.
mean the moment when Harvey Dent in what is it, issue 31 of the Two-Face, like the big Two-Face part, when Harvey Dent stands up in the courtroom and says, "Everything's corrupt, even me," isn't supposed to be played straight? Yeah. Yeah.
Ugh.
It's because it's true. You know, it's all corrupt.
Because Batman is there. Yeah.
You know.
Ugh.
Yeah. I think that was a pretty good discussion on that topic.
Yeah. It
I
is.
can't think of any other medias that it reaches out to, but I'm sure it does. I do want to call out one that doesn't real quick.
Huh.
Bollywood.
What do you mean?
Bollywood completely throws away cookie cutter design for stories.
Unless
Bollywood
you're
does whatever
unless
it
you're
wants.
unless you're Hindi,
Yes.
and then it's following the stories and stuff and the lives that
Yes.
have always been there.
Right.
There's cliches there for them. So
But
yeah.
my point is more like for the action, right? They don't go, well, we have to have a car explosion here. They go, okay, so instead of having a big fight scaling up this wall, we're going to have all 7 of these dudes grab their shields and grab each other's arms and turn themselves into a huge
Yeah.
bowling ball and roll off a ramp and fly through the sky over the wall where they'll crash land, and then all 7 of them will push up off of their shields, land on their feet, draw their swords, and fight their way through an army.
Yes.
Because why not?
Perfect.
Why not? So
No, I
yeah.
think there is some. I do think there's some like the creativity there.
Yeah.
That we have America has not the oldest movie makers. That would
Right.
probably be the French, but the ones who kind of made a big industry out of it. Yes, made millionaires out of actors.
Right.
To go through it. So I think a lot of it here is copying each other and going through. And I think when you have, the Bollywood industry has been around for a few years,
Right.
but not anything like Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
You have people willing to take a chance. It's like some of the greatest movies I've ever seen are old Hong Kong movies.
Yes, I agree.
That look.
Dark just brought up the Russian superhero film. Have you heard about this?
Guardians?
I know we need to close soon, but
Guardians?
yes.
Guardian?
Yes,
Yeah.
you brought it up to me originally. Yes, you did.
Yeah.
It's I need to watch it so bad. I've seen clips. Look. It looks really good.
Yeah. It does.
I forgot you were the one who brought it up to me. My brain just like pulled a clip out of the ether, and then I was like,
yeah. And I love the fact that, like, I don't know, man. There's something about the trailer that is so Russian.
Yeah.
That's like, oh my gosh.
Yep.
Yeah. It's like, what was the quiz show? I couldn't believe. Okay, I was listening to Wait, Don't Tell Me is the name of the quiz show, and they had this question. This is you'll get the point in just a second, right? So they were telling 3 stories. 2 of them are false. One of them's true.
right.
I can't remember what the other 2 were, but they were kind of silly. The other one was in Canada. In order to help stop riots during protests, they hand out suckers, the lollipops for people. And I'm listening going, that sounds Canadian. That's the true one.
Right.
The guy missed it on there. And it turned out that's a true one. It's kind of like that with that movie, right?
Yes.
There's so much about it. It's like, yeah, I didn't have to know this was made in Russia.
Right.
It was made in Russia.
All I'm saying is
It
there's a
looks
moment
good.
where a bear
Blame Canada.
has a
Blame
minigun on its
Canada.
back.
Yeah.
And that, you're right, that's Russia right there in my mind. I see that and my brain goes, Russia.
Right.
I see a man jump out of a plane, and as he's falling, he pulls two ripcords on his coat, like his leather jacket, and a big inflatable jet suit flies out of it. That's Bollywood. I know what I'm looking at.
Right.
And, you know, it just.
Yeah. It's good stuff, man. We'll
Uh,
yeah, man, you'll have to
uh,
let me know. We might do a watch party for that or something.
that'd
I
be
don't
really
know.
fun. Yeah, that'd be really
But
fun.
yeah.
All right. Well, I guess we should probably move on to the final part of the show here. You got any plugs?
All right. Um, no, I don't think so. I just want to thank everybody for watching again, and everybody's out there. Please remember, it took millions of people and thousands of years to make you. There's never been a you before, and there never will be again. So kind of be nice to it, all right?
That's right. For sure, Dark. That'd be a fun thing to try and set up. Yeah, I'm
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
plug the 2002 era because I've spent enough time with it this week. But
Yeah, you can see it.
until next time, I have been Trey.
I've been Rungren.
This has been the Full Spectrum, and remember to always enjoy the full spectrum that life has to offer.
What?